Hello everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 2002 and I will be telling you if it's worth it or not, if you should be spending around $100 or $90 for this figure, and I'm going to tell you if it's worth adding into your collection or not. Okay, so first of all, this figure definitely has a lot of details for its price point. I mean, we have seen other figures cost way more than this figure, yet with less details, and the paint job isn't that well done on it. So this figure definitely delivers on some parts, but it doesn't mean it's 100% perfect. Now, the details on this figure is amazing. Like, I would have to say it's 10 out of 10. You can definitely see all the scales around his neck, the spikes. Every scale is very well done. I have to say, like, you can definitely feel how three-dimensional they are. You can definitely feel how spiky they are around his neck, around his stomach, and definitely I would have to say it's 10 out of 10 on detail because it lives up to the suit and everything. I mean, the promotional art, it's on par, I have to say, with minor issues that it has, but I'll get to that later on. Now, the spikes on this are very well done. They kind of look like the original Godzilla 2002. I mean, Godzilla 2000, but they're quite sculpted different. You can definitely tell that the main one is well sculpted. It has a lot of details. It has white with yellow and gray, and it really does mix in really well to bring out a lot of details on this figure and definitely on his spikes. So he has three rows of spikes, one in the middle and two on each corner. Now, are they sharp? They're kind of sharp, but not that sharp, you know. And for the articulation, you can definitely move his head up and you can move him side to side, but you won't get that much movement side to side, and it definitely looks weird when you pose him in a position where he's looking to the left or to the right because of how the ball joints are connected or how he was sculpted. I would definitely have to say that his strongest point or where he looks the best is sometimes looking up like this, but the best view of him is looking forward with his mouth closed. You definitely get that look that we all saw in the movie when he was staring at Mothra or just staring down at Mechagodzilla with those evil eyes and his teeth coming out. You know, the two teeth that he has coming out. I mean, you can definitely see how sharp and defined they are, and you can see his articulation from his arms. You can pose him like in a swimming pose where he's like diving into the water. I mean, this figure is very poseable, but the downside for me is on his. For me, it's gonna be on the left side, but for you, it's probably gonna be on the right side. But his left hand pops out a lot. I don't know if that's the ball joint or if it's still very hard. Maybe I have to heat it up. And another downside that I've noticed, I don't know if it's just on my figure, but you guys can tell right there his hand just falls off. I don't know if it's the ball joint or his hand. I don't know. There's an issue with mine right here. But another issue that I find is opening his mouth seems to be very hard. I don't really have nails. For people who cut their nails or don't really have nails, you're going to have problems opening his mouth. It just seems to be very stiff and so tight inside. It's closed, you know. So for me, it was difficult opening his mouth. Like sometimes I have to struggle trying to open his mouth. But the articulation on his leg is very good. You can even move his knees. His feet can look up and down. Well, they can move up and down and around, you know, to get Godzilla 2002 and that pose where he's just walking forward. You know, you can put one of his feet like if he was walking, you know, taking a step forward, while the other one is behind him, so it looks like he's in a walking animation. So I mean, definitely they captured the image that we all got from the movie. I mean, this looks exactly like the one from the movie. I am very happy, and looking at this figure just reminds me of so many memories that I had with this movie. I mean, this movie was one of the first ever Godzilla movies that I saw. So, if anyone else out there saw Godzilla 2000 or Godzilla 2002, Let me know, drop a like, and tell me which was your first ever Godzilla movie that you ever saw. For me, it was Godzilla 2000, and from Godzilla 2000, I saw Godzilla 2002, which is this one where he fought with Mecha Godzilla, and I definitely fell in love with the designs from both of them. Even though both are similar, they have different spike color, and the spikes are done differently. His head, I mean, they're alike, but they have something that makes them stand out, so you know which version is from what year. But I definitely like the Godzilla 2000 because he has the spikes, more sharper. They're purple. His eyes, oh my god, just love those eyeballs. And I wish they did an Orga to go with this one, or maybe they can do a Godzilla 2000. You never know. Even a Final Wars, because it definitely resembles a Final Wars to me, especially when you open his mouth. Now the articulation for his tail is amazing. It's on par with Shin Godzilla's articulation on the tail for the Awakening, and I believe the Frozen one, because the Frozen one I'm sure is going to have very good articulation on the tail. The ball joints are going to be stiff, unlike the original. But I noticed that his tip seems to come off a lot. I don't know if that's just on mine, but that's an issue that I have. It's not a big deal, but I mean, come on, man. Who doesn't have that problem where the ball joints fall off from their tails or their heads, their hands? Everybody has problems with that. Now, I do have to say that his mouth is very, very well sculpted, the tongue and everything from the inside. But the downside for mine is that one row from his teeth seems to be missing. I mean, some teeth are missing, and then some are like smashed up. So they're not really defined or well sculpted as I would like them to be. Now, the other row is very sharp, and they're popping out more, so it looks like he's missing teeth. And right here, definitely, he looks like Godzilla Final Wars. Don't tell me that he does not. I mean, looking at the Bandai one and this one, especially when he opens his mouth, it definitely resembles Godzilla Final Wars. So I'm not sure if that's a hint that they're going to make one. I sure do hope so, that they make one. And even Kaiser Ghidorah, I mean, how epic would that be? They already have Gigan Final Wars, so probably this is a hint that they're going to make Kaiser Ghidorah and Godzilla Final Wars. And please, S.H.MonsterArts, if you're listening to this, please, from now on, all of your figures should have accessories. Make them. If you're not going to give us effects or any special additions with the first release, make people feel proud of the first release, because when you make another figure and add up extra things that the first one didn't have, people feel left out. So please, from now on, add buildings, fire, tanks, whatever. Just give us something that's enough, to make us feel worth it and happy with our purchase, unlike others. And definitely, I hope that they make a special color version from this one. And this guy is on the smaller size when you compare him to Godzilla Earth or Shin Godzilla. They're definitely bigger and they tower over him. Even the mass, like, they're way bigger. Like their head, or his head sculpt is way bigger. I messed up right there, guys. Sorry about that. I got stuck right there. But like his feet, his tail, they're just way bigger compared to Godzilla 2002. He's on the smaller end, but definitely this guy looks so badass with this effect. I have to say that if they ever make another version, they should definitely make him with blue spikes and add him with the effect beam